So here are many Catwoman dioramas. Here's a diorama with a cat. Here's the Arkham Knight Catwoman at a Gotham apartment building. Here's a Ballant era Catwoman statue model. Here is Catwoman leaping off a building, Batman looking on. Here, during Cataclysm, of course, giant earthquake in Gotham, and here is Catwoman scaling down a broken elevator shaft. Catwoman crouching on top of a building. This is the whip that leads to Catwoman. See, on the ledge. There's another model Ballant era Catwoman on top of a safe. The bat signal. She knows she has to get out of there. Here's Catwoman providing some money to a cat lady who feeds the neighborhood strays. Here is the Silver Age Catwoman outside with her panther, Diablo. Here is Catwoman in the Gotham Arboretum with a couple of her, well, several of her cats. Again, Silver Age Catwoman with a cat outside the Gotham East End Cinema. East End is her territory. It's a little marvel for you. It's Catwoman and Black Cat. She's showing Black Cat all her treasures in her secret treasure room. Again, at that apartment, here she is climbing the wall. Gotham City Dark Advent Comics, Catwoman, and again her panther. She's got a Catwoman comic book. Here are a series involving a heist at Doozy Jewelry. She's hanging by her whip. She's perusing the various gemstones. That's how she got in there, scaling down by her whip. Not much to say about these, are just other angles. Here she's going back up from whence she came. She's reached the top. And she's gone. There she is, outside a large bank vault. Here she is atop a ever-ready Raytheon warehouse, looking over Gotham. More direct shot. I got that cat large battery advertisement in a Value Village thrift store. It's amazing what you can find and incorporate into your dioramas. So here's Catwoman in the Gotham Museum. You notice she's attracted to this object in particular. I made that shadow. Here she is outside Gotham Market, again with the cat. Seems to be a pattern here with the cats. Here she's outside a construction zone, and she's looking down at a Gotham City newspaper where it says that Batman is dead. So she took her mask off. She's kind of upset. Of course, you know, in comics, they're never dead. They always come back. And here is another homage to a comic panel. She left the back of this building and she's jumping over this, what do they call these things? Whatever this thing is. It was really hard to pose her, but I got it done. Sawhorse, that's what they're called. This is Catwoman crawling through a duct, coming right at you. This is the black and white version. I have a colored version too. This is art by Jim Ballant. Who's my favorite Catwoman artist? Here's the colored version. She's got her green lenses on, which are night vision. Another doozy jewelry one with dark effects. I call this a Black Friday early sale. Here she's getting out of that broken elevator. Call this one Catwoman Full Moon. Again, I do the jewelry heist. Here's an interesting one where I made a whole bunch of security boxes inside the bank. And she's looking at her diagram to find the ones where the loot is found. How did she know that? Well, she had to have some inside man to help her. Again, the no man's land or cataclysm, broken elevator. Here she is outside one of the walls of her apartment. Here she is inside the secret room with all her wigs and a mirror, full-length mirror to make her disguises. Another angle that you can see she has over here, a blow dryer, scissors, and other things. Other utensils. So here's a picture of her secret treasure room. You notice this was that statue that was in the Gotham Museum. She did acquire it. Not legally, of course. Close up of Selena. This is the no man's land after the cataclysm. Again, scaling the cable of the elevator. Okay, you can do it. Again, outside that scene, I had her leaping over the sawhorse. Outside the cinema. Here's a close-up of that leap dial. By the way, the body is from the chick from the Matrix. Here she is outside the Gotham Zoo. Notice she's liberated 3 Black Panthers. Here is Catwoman on a lookout by a building. Here she is rappelling down to the window where she's gonna make a heist. Here she is on top of Wayne Tower in Gotham. Here she's opening a St. a safe that was behind a picture in the wall. Little homage to Renee Montoya as the new question. Here she is atop a gargoyle overlooking Gotham. Here she's leaving the animal shelter where her and Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn have set up shop. About ready to crack that safe. What shall she find? She says goodbye to her kitty. She's going out for the night. It's the same picture, except this one has security cam feed A89 active. Green light. So she thinks she's undetected, but there's a security officer observing that she's coming in. Here's an example of some of the loot. Again, perched atop a building. Swinging backwards off a building. Behind this is the secret room. This is a magazine which I make it refer to Selena Kyle. Not Audrey Hepburn, although that's a picture of Audrey. So this is looking into the secret room. Here's her table that she does her makeup and puts on her disguises. Again, I'll look at the treasure room. She really likes this one in particular. Here she's getting into that window. Here she looks at a Gotham paper, the Gotham Globe, which describes the heist that she had pulled off recently. She keeps a scrapbook of her exploits. Here is animated Catwoman in a junkyard with a full moon. This is a two-part or two-figure set, Catwoman and Doomsday. Don't ask me why they put those two together. It makes absolutely no sense. Here she is going into that hidden wall safe. Opening it up. There's all the treasure she's taken out of it. This was my first diorama with an action figure. You have the cat cycle, which I modified from another motorcycle, and you have Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman. I kept on adding debris, so it got outrageous after a while. This is in Crime Alley. Same picture except done in the dark with a light up moon. This is what the Doozy jewelry store looks like without an action figure in it. This is the duct I used. Here's a black and white, so it looks like they're the same color. Because I had a purple head on a black body, and that's of course Trinity from the Matrix. Okay. Again, full moon, top of gargoyle. It's a statue of the Silver Age Catwoman. Again, that Gotham Alley. Look at all the debris and junk. Top of a building. This is a statue with Batman and Catwoman during the Hush storyline. Here's a cute little pop-like figure on top of a gargoyle. Again, that leap, missed me, now you gotta kiss me. So, looking at all the diamonds. This is the top of that old Gotham building that she leapt off of. So this was the original inspiration from a Jim Ballant Catwoman number 55, page 8, where she hits a secret panel and opens it up to her equipment room and her makeup and so forth. That was the inspiration for mine. And this is the inspiration. This is Catwoman number 60, page 23 by Ballant for the treasure room. Here are some customs that I made with this exo suit. It shows her in one. I made this custom variation of colors: white for snow, and then purple and black for night. And then here she is over here in a custom outfit with a robo cat. Here she's standing, and there's a rat. He's always a rat in Gotham. They're ubiquitous. That's your word for the day. Here again on top of a building by a chimney. Notice the bat signal is shining. I think we've seen this one already. Selena and Diablo. Selena and her crew. I think she had 21 cats in her apartment, something like that. Again, an apartment shot. Sometimes I have trouble clicking on these. You might have noticed. Here she is in her workout room. That's a little Easter egg for Ted Grant, Wildcat, who taught her how to box. I made that custom heavy bag. She's drinking milk, by the way. Shadow of the cat. Here she is in the snowy forest. She has her snow camo outfit on that Jim Ballant designed and drew. Here it's snowing with icicles in Gotham. Here she's up on a gargoyle again. It's another angle of that leap shot. Should have done that one in black and white. It would have looked better. She is sitting atop Iceberg Lounge on a snowy night. There's the Iceberg Lounge logo, top of the building. Another one of Doozy Jewelry. I was kind of obsessive with those, the number of pictures I took. Okay, this is an attempt to duplicate a comic panel. These are some of the principles involved. It's a work in progress of that secret safe behind the painting dial. It's close-up of that. That safe, by the way, was from a set with Black Cat and Spider-Man. Here you see the stacks of money and the jewels inside the safe. So, again, this was the items I was going to use to duplicate this comic panel, but I never ended up doing it because it just didn't look right. So, there you have it. Catwoman Dioramas. I hope you stayed to the end. I'm out.